Hey, sir. So we should make sure
They're gone. Where?
Yeah, you can.
Give you a raise.
I wish all the miles of Ron and I drove down here.
If everyone would want to take their seat now, we can begin if everybody is here.
My eyes closed and figure out where I was going. Today we're driving around, I think really hard.
I think it's pretty full back there. Let's go sit over here somewhere, okay?
My brother used to live in,
So we just go sit over here.
or the Yogi Bear campground is. Where? Can't think of the name of that. You worked in three ounces. It's a little top of camp. Big camp. No.
Did you get to your chair there?
There's a skate park near the by Lucy. A town. Now we're safe. I can't think of the name. Well, anyway, he passed away almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty much. He just drank himself. When they sent him home.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me or? I'm not too used to those things, so. I'd like to thank you all for being here today to help us celebrate Crystal's life. Somebody I have learned through conversations and many things that unfortunately I didn't know. I heard I had her service I couldn't picture right away. When I seen a picture of her, I thought, oh yeah, I remember her quite well. But even though we do gather here today with sadness in our hearts, we must remember the love and the memories she gave you to hold tight. Because I'm sure each of you feels loneliness caused by her passing. But you must rejoice that she touched you and that she was a part of your life, and her influences will survive in the unending consequences flowing from her character and deeds. And through her deeds, I hope we all, in a way, follow in her steps. Because this time in this world, fast-paced, it seems like nobody really, they're only worried about themselves. Crystal worried about everybody else and took care of them the best she could. And that's something that is kind of a trait that's missing in the world, for people to care for each other. And I'm even guilty of it to some extent. I don't call my kids, or I don't keep in touch as much as I should. but she did. And that was one of the best things I heard. She considered herself, anybody she took care of was her family, not just a friend or a client or somebody. It was family. And that's a trait. Love, caring for somebody. And if anything else, if that's something that we can carry on after today, hopefully a little bit of caring for others. But then again, it may have been her goodness, her wisdom, or just her energy, because she helped right up to the end. It may have been her devotion to family and her helping hand, or just her courage. Or it may have been just her loving smile and understanding. Like I said, I remember her and her smile when I see the pictures. I said, yes, I remember her. I used to talk to her at the station every once in a while when she'd be in there. We both getting gas, sandwich, something. One of the quotes she liked to say, it goes, you got to look for the good in the bad. The happy in your sad, the gain in the pain. And what makes you grateful, not hateful. So if there's anything, perhaps we can gain something from that. A new outlook, respect for life. But then again, like she said, she thought it was a really good job that she had because she got paid for visiting her friends. Well, that's a different way of looking at it. But then hopefully some of you got some of her hand embroidery and things that she shared, because that would be a momentum that you'll be able to keep forever. But then again, regardless of that, to those of us left behind today, it doesn't feel so marvelous. It's hard to feel happy and joyful for the one who has passed, for we won't be able to see her again. But if you held her close and she meant something to you, you will see her. When you close your eyes and those memories and the laughter of all the birthday parties or Christmas times you spent together, and just remembering the smile and the glitter in her eyes when everybody's opening presents and being together, that was her best, that was heaven to her. To be able to spend time with her family and friends. So for those of us here today, it is separation and sorrow, but it's also not the end of the world. It just feels like it in some form or way. The Bible teaches us that life does not end when we pass. We're all eternal spirits made in the image of God. And as spirit, life does go on. And I'm sure her life is going on today up in heaven with God. As kind and considered a person that she was. That's just one of the traits, the main traits that God has asked all of us. He sent his son to show us love, understanding, and caring. And she understood all of that. And she shared it the best she could with everybody. So today you can feel at ease. For she is in heaven looking down on us today. We'll have our first song.
It will be light when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes see when your face is before me. I can only imagine. Only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, one where my heart feels. Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or know you be still? Will I stand in your presence? To my knees will I fall I sing hallelujah. I'll be able to speak and I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing inside. I can only imagine when all I do is forever worship you. I can only imagine, only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, wonder where my heart feels. I dance for you, Jesus. For in all of you be still. Will I stand in your presence? To my knees or will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak? Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah. I can only imagine. To my knees, will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Speaking all I can only imagine. I can only imagine when all I do is forever, forever worship you. I can only imagine.
Come on, Chihuahua.
Let's pray. Dearly departed Crystal, we will think of you often and feel lonely that you left. In life, you gave us love, and now we give our love back to you. You took with you a part of our hearts and that no one can fill. But we know you are with God now, and all the memories you left behind will keep you alive in our hearts forever. We wish you peace and send with you our love as you take your next steps with our Lord. Amen. And knowing and being with her all your life, hopefully she shared things with you that you'll be able to keep. Something in nature, the way her garden grew. She loved gardening. Or just the crisp smell of the air in the morning when you're out there. Maybe it was something funny on TV or joke just shared between the two of you. Or perhaps you got to share a meal or two with her. And when you were just about done, all you had to do was look at her eyeballs to see if she was full or not. But then again, perhaps you'll hear the phone ring and you'll pick it up and you'll be wishing, just wishing one more time you could say, here, rise and shine and hear the birdies sing, tweet, tweet, tweet. That'll be something that you'll be able to remember also. You'll hear somebody say that, and her memory will come back to you because of the love she gave you. Those memories never disappear. But then again, perhaps it was something less tangible, possibly observing Crystal. You appreciate further your own role as parent or friend. You may have learned about something about honesty and caring. Maybe you learned about the rules, right and wrong, good and bad. Or maybe it was the rules of the universe. Love is what comes around, and whatever comes around, whatever love exists now, will always exist in some form. You'll be driving down the road, and you'll see that sign that she always made you stop at. Rummage sale. Thrift sale. We gotta stop here. Gotta stop here. There's another memory that you'll be able to carry forever because you'll think of her right away. So when your mind drifts to thoughts of her, remember to say thank you for all the gifts you received, for all gifts of love, even if they were big hugs and smeary kisses. Regardless, they were all there for one thing, to carry your life on. And that's what I mean. I look out here and there's a lot of kids out here, and a lot of young ones. And the only way these young ones that are here today are going to be able to remember Crystal in years to come is if you folks carry her life on. When you get together and you're talking about her, let them know who she was and who you're talking about, who you're giggling about. Let them know. Because when you're gone, they're the ones that are going to carry her life on also. And now we'll have another song. And if you're wondering, yes, I got fingernail polish on from church last Sunday. Had to paint them, and my broke fingernails. I tried taking it off before the service today, but it don't work. So there are many things I've mentioned now about Crystal and the things that she loved and the things she done. But one of the things I learned that she was really proud of was this country, because it was home of the free because of the brave. And I was saying before, oh yeah, I seen her at the gas station, I remember, but one of the places that I really remember seeing her is when I would do a service for somebody in Humbert or in that area, and we'd have the meal at the community hall there, and there'd be the ladies auxiliary, and there'd be Crystal, something, and always had something good to say. That smile brought everybody away from wherever their darkness was. Oh, hi, Crystal. And just by her smile, she got some people out of the darkness. And that's something we should remember. A smile can get us farther than a frown. But then again, afterwards, kind of wondering who's going to make hard-boiled eggs now at family get-togethers for the 3 beans salad, for the good pistachio salad she made. Somebody's going to have to step up. But then again, I've said quite a bit. Now it's an opportunity. If anybody else here has something they'd like to share, little tidbit, little something, Raj?
Thank you. I got a chance to hear Crystal stand up and sing Ave Maria. 3 funerals. Every great sorrow ravages the soul with its own particular sadness. But what sadness can compare with that sense of utter desolation that consumes us when we suffer the loss of a loved one? It's too deep for tears, too numbing to let the kindness and sympathy of our friends ease our grief and loneliness. Later, the tears will come. Kindness and sympathy will indeed help. But for the moment, we remain alone in our sorrow. We feel lost and abandoned in this, our time of greatest need. But we're not really alone, not really abandoned. For though we may remain beyond the reach of human consolation, Jesus, now more than at any other time, draws near and offers us help, his help. In his love and compassion, he yearns to come and abide with us, bringing that love and understanding and consolation that he alone can bestow at such a time. We need only to open wide our grief-stricken hearts to the Master and welcome him in. Now his timeless message is our greatest need. Now we must listen to his words as we've seldom, perhaps never listened before. Others, though anxious to help, can do more than commiserate with us in our grief. He alone can give us the strength and lift up our hearts with his truth. Come unto me, he whispers to us, and I will give you rest. If we respond to his loving invitation, allowing his divine wisdom to pierce the heavy sadness that curtains our souls, we will receive the sweet rest and refreshment he has promised. Then he will teach us personally the very core of his message to all mankind. Now, when our bereavement has emptied our hearts of everything else, he will teach us the true meaning of life, suffering, of death. As we listen to him and learn this great truth, our suffering will not indeed vanish, for Jesus' message is not just a placebo. He will open our eyes to a much wider spiritual horizon and teach us to see our bereavement in a new and proper perspective. And as our spiritual vision grows under the Master's instruction, the peace of Christ that surpasses our understanding will slowly replace and surely replace the void in our hearts with the certainty of the resurrection. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Go ahead, pal. You can come up here or stand there, it don't matter.
It's real good to see all of you. A lot of you I haven't seen for a while. I wanted to say one thing about Grandma. I had this written up, but maybe something inside told me to just speak it instead of read it, because I had it ready to go. Grandma was really cool in the way that she could speak her mind and tell you what she was thinking. But at the same time, she was as amicable as everyone has laid out here today, and as all of you remember, she could speak her piece and keep the peace. And that was something that I so admire and want to carry it forward as well. Not just her memory, but the good qualities that I wish that I didn't lack, like that tact that she had, just carefulness in tough situations that could spiral. I love you, Grandma. I'm gonna miss our talks. We didn't talk so much or so often, you know. We caught up real good. And there's still time, I think, to talk. So thank you for everything, Grandma, and we love you very much. Thank you.
Somebody else? I got something here Helen wanted to read. And it goes, when Jesus came to your light, Mom, you left us suddenly. The angels wrapped you in their wings and took you to heaven to be with Laura and Dad. And someday we'll all be together again and have those hugs and kisses we will all miss. So sleep now that you are an angel. God gave you your wings, so fly away. There's many other things. The one thing Raj mentioned, I would have liked to have known how many miles she traveled in a year and all her escapades and helping people and that. If she had even a nickel for every mile, she'd be a pretty good person right now. But then again, it is impossible for just one person to sum up the life of another. It's too complex and too mysterious. That is why we have our memories. The pictures, while beautiful and special, is not enough to hold the memories we have with someone special. They're there merely as nudges to our own memories of Crystal. And I watched you folks pointing and laughing and smiling. Oh, I know this one and that one. Those pictures brought her back. Keep them pictures out in the open of your mind, and the sadness will go away. Because we all have different memories of her and a different experience. So we've all lost something different. This is a reason for a celebration of life. An opportunity to think of how our lives were touched by her, what she meant to us, and what her memories continue to mean to us. Her memories shared are also gifts to the loved ones she has left behind. Our recollections of Crystal are an opportunity to evoke remembrance, a reminder of the uniqueness of her life, and a sense of privilege of having known her. Even painful memories soften with time. The anger fades and the hurt feelings recede, leaving in its wake the love that is now and has always been there. And in the Bible, in the book of Isaiah, it said, "It is not where I breathe that I live, it is where I love." So her spirit still lives in each and every one of you because she loved each and every one of you. And remembering the life she led is a way to remember the love we feel for her. We know she still feels for us. And one thing we have to remember in life, every ending is also a new beginning for us. And in closing, I'd like to read this. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And as I look out here, her cup did run over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. And I ask that you join with me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Crystal, may the good Lord bless you and keep you. May his eyes shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen. So ends the service here at this time, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you again for coming here and helping us share and celebrate Crystal's life. You've all been welcomed across kitty corner across the street for sandwiches and fellowship. Perhaps at that time, you guys can laugh and talk about her life. It builds even stronger through the stories each one of you share. Her memory will only get stronger for you to share with the little ones that they can be proud of saying also. And thank you again for being here today. Thank you.
And you folks are welcome to stay here and visit as long as you like or walk across the street.